Welcome to the literature sessions. I'm Nusrat Mubarak from Zaira College, Kampala. Today, I'm going to discuss some target questions on prose, the Lambaru and the Nightingale and the Rose. Children, these questions may not appear in the question paper, but I'm going to discuss these questions for you to look at paper critically and respond to questions intelligently. This is just to guide you all. First of all, I should say the common errors the students make. For example, you don't read the questions properly and not responding the keywords, not comprehending what is expected. Children, be careful when you organize your answer. Without prior preparation, if you organize your answer, you will lose marks. Better to have a rough paper and plan your answer. You should use your English well, that means with good grammar and spelling. Your familiarity with the text is important. You should be able to quote relevantly and you should be able to build up your arguments at appropriate moments. Okay, children, let's look at the past paper questions. The first prose is The Lumber Room by Saki. 2016, write an analysis of the aunt's character in The Lumber Room. Discuss her contribution to the central theme of the story. 2017, compare and contrast the characters of Nicholas and Aunt in the short story. 2018, Nicholas is more powerful than the aunt at the end of the story. Examine this statement referring to the events of the short story, The Lumber Room. 2019, in The Lumber Room, despite ill treatment, Nicholas remains happy. Support your answer from the text. Children, when you look at these questions, you will see the differences and the similarities among the questions. So this time, the first target question is, the illogical behavior of the adult is laughed at the writer Saki in the prose The Lumber Room. Discuss the statement with reference to the text. So I have highlighted the words illogical behavior, adults is laughed at. So these are the key words. So you have to be very careful. Arrange the points according to these things. Illogical behavior, irrational or unreasonable behavior of the aunt. The only character you find in The Lumber Room is aunt, that is Nicholas's aunt. She represents the adult world. So the students should be able to explore the characteristics of this aunt. There are many things to talk about this aunt. For example, aunt is self-styled, conventional woman with no imagination and with a very negative attitude towards the children. She is very authoritative. She punishes the children. She doesn't listen to the children. She changes the subject. She's very rude. She doesn't understand the children. For example, she tries to prove that she is superior to them. So children, with quotations, you have to talk about these things. You have to write about these things, especially lack of understanding, irresponsible and insensitive nature. So all these points can be written with clear evidence from the text. So try to quote them properly and write a good answer. By the way, children, now when you write about the adult's character aunt, you have to talk about Nicholas also. You are going to say how he wins this battle. That is very important. And you have to say that Nicholas is intelligent and things about Nicholas. So illogical behavior of the adults is laughed at. Normally, how aunt's hypocrisy and stupidity boomeranged on her. The next question is, adults must be careful when punishing the intelligent children. How does the writer Saki bring out the above idea in the prose The Lumber Room? The highlighted words are adults like punishing the intelligent children. So the word intelligent is very important, and the word how does the writer. So when there is a question like this, you can talk about the techniques, especially the writer uses the word Nicholas is a skilled tactician. So that is metaphorically said. So you can use these words to show the character of Nicholas. And there is a contrast in the prose. That is, other than Nicholas, there are characters. His cousins and his brother. They are different from Nicholas because Nicholas is intelligent and is practical. His tactfulness and intelligence guide him to deceive his aunt. By his actions, he tests authority. He sees through the aunt's narrow-mindedness. He tricks his aunt. He plans. He has a nice plan, a long germinated plan. When the aunt says not to enter the gooseberry garden, he plans something else. An intelligent child can do this. So whatever the punishment, he is not bothered. He doesn't bother about the punishment. He is successful in his plan. He is very witty. You can say that. You can contrast Nicholas's character with aunt's character. Then you can write a very good answer using necessary quotations. Nicholas tries to prove that older, wiser, and better people are not always correct by putting a frog in his wholesome bread and milk. That's an important point. When aunt falls into the gooseberry garden, Nicholas uses his power to deceive his aunt. He uses the word evil one. That is also important. The second prose is The Nightingale and the Rose by Oscar Wilde. The past paper questions are 2016, love is not half as useful as logic. Do you agree? Discuss in relation to The Nightingale and the Rose. 2017, discuss how the characteristics of the nightingale, the student and the girls are explored in The Nightingale and the Rose. 2018, The Nightingale and the Rose is a fable of love, sacrifice and selfishness. Is an adequate assessment of the story discussed. 2019, what does The Nightingale and the Rose tell you about love? Discuss referring to the text. So, we'll see the target questions. Materialism outsmarts true love. Sacrifice is unworthy. Comment on the statement referring to the prose The Nightingale and the Rose by Oscar Wilde. Materialism outsmarts true love. Sacrifice is unworthy. So, you should highlight the word materialism, true love, sacrifice, right? You know, all these words are connected to different characters in the prose The Nightingale and the Rose. You know, children, Nightingale and the Rose is a social satire. The story criticizes attitudes to love, materialistic and romantic. The main themes are nature of true love, objectives of education, materialism and romanticism. So finally, we know that in the end, materialism wins. The symbols of romanticism, they are Nightingale and the red rose actually. They are destroyed. The professor's daughter receives jewels from the Chamberlain's nephew. She has high regard for jewelry. The Chamberlain's nephew's love for the girl is materialistic love. He wins her heart by giving gifts. So the sacrifice of the nightingale is of no use. It's unworthy. The nightingale represents true love. The sacrifice of the nightingale can be seen in how she bleeds herself to death. The student's love is theoretical. He has an idea of love. He cannot apply what he has learned to real life. He theorizes what love is. When the girl rejects him, the professor's daughter rejects him, he goes back to his books. So finally, like the flower is crushed the true love is also crushed. The nightingale sacrifices herself to create a red rose. It is a symbol of love. It speaks of true love. It's so precious for the nightingale. The sacrifice is unworthy. It's not a wise decision by the nightingale. Okay, let's look at the second question. The short story The Nightingale and the Rose by Oscar Wilde speaks of the reality of the fate of the true love in the ordinary society. Do you agree? Give your reasons. The writer Oscar Wilde seems to be using the characters in the contemporary society. The green lizard, the butterfly, the daisy. They are non-human. Writer is taking the animals of different qualities to show there are several people like them in the society. They are very cynical about true love. They don't value true love. They are mocking at true love. There is another character called the oak tree. It symbolizes wisdom. So there are people, now you can show different characters and you can talk about the characters in the society who don't value true love. Actually, in this prose, the nightingale's true love is not at all valued in the short story. You can see that. Children, the word do you agree, the question do you agree is there. You can agree or you can disagree. It's up to you. If you agree, you have to give reasons and you have to quote from the texts. And if you disagree even, you can give reasons. Children, I hope you learned something from this lesson. Wish you all the best for the upcoming O-level examination. Thank you.